Hi, my name is Patricia Moore, and today I'm going to be giving my persuasive speech about animal captivity. Now, I'm first going to tell you about the time I went to SeaWorld, and then I'm going to tell you about the time I went to the zoo. So the first time I went to SeaWorld, I was about 12 years old, and it was the most amazing experience that I had as a 12-year-old. I was able to eat out of whale-shaped plates and drink drinks out of whale-shaped cups, and I was also able to get splashed by Shamu himself in the arena, which is probably not that sanitary now that I think about it, but I didn't care back then. And it was just a great experience for me. Now, when I was 17, which is probably a little bit over a year ago, I went to Tacoma Zoo with my younger siblings, and I saw them and they were having a great time there, but I could really only focus on the animals and their living environments because it was so strange to me how none of them had really controlled climates. I saw a polar bear laying lifelessly on a rock, and there's a light drizzle out, so I was really expecting the polar bear to be in a controlled climate where it was surrounded in snow and things like that, but he was in the same environment as me, and that really got me thinking about where he should be and where he is and things like that. So I think you can see where I'm going with this. Many animals at zoos and safari parks keep their animals locked up in small enclosures daily, and according to CAPS, an Animal Protection Society, a government study was conducted, and it was noted that there was no provision for individual feedings or sleeping areas. And I thought that was interesting since animals are their main source of income, so I was thinking that they would kind of or zoos would provide better care for their animals. But this study was conducted about various zoos across the country. And I also found information that at SeaWorld, their deepest tank is only 40 feet deep, and whales can grow up to be 10 tons. And that was interesting to me that they would take whales from their natural habitat, which is the ocean, which is almost unmeasurable, to places like a tank, which is only 40 feet deep, and expect them to swim in there and live in there. And now that I've given you examples of some of the enclosures that animals are kept in, I'm going to explain how it affects the animals. A study provided by LiveScience.com showed that animals that are held in captivity die younger than if left in the wild. Many elephants held in captivity have an average lifespan of 17 years, while studies show that in the wild they have an average lifespan of 56 years, which is a huge difference in time. And after a study on SeaWorld, it showed that SeaWorld provided information that orcas have an average lifespan of 15 to 20 years. But in reality, they have a lifespan that is comparable to a human lifespan, with a maximum of up to 80 through 100 years. And I just think that it was interesting that SeaWorld would kind of put that information out there, when if you actually do some research into it, you can actually find out that it is common knowledge that orcas have a lifespan comparable to humans. So now that I've told you about the small enclosures and how animals in captivity have shorter lifespans, I'm lastly going to tell you about how animals are trained to perform tricks. Now, whales at SeaWorld are trained to perform tricks, and their incentive is fish. And I think it's interesting how they're fed throughout the day, but in order to get more food, they have to swim around a tank or splash water at people. But as it is obvious now, there are many rules and regulations to SeaWorld because many trainers have been hurt or killed in the process of performing tricks with the whales, which is the biggest sign to me that whales shouldn't be having to perform tricks like that to get food, and that they should be in their natural environment, which is the ocean, and they should be going out and getting however much food they want. And also, parrots and birds are performers at zoos, and they're common performers. When I was actually at Tacoma Zoo, I saw a trainer training a parrot with the same incentive food, and I just thought it's interesting that they're training the birds to say certain things, certain funny jokes or punchlines, when really they should be in the wild, and they should be kind of living out their life the way they want to, which sounds kind of interesting because they're animals, but I mean, their lives shouldn't be controlled for our entertainment. So, now that I've told you about how animals are kept in small enclosures and how they have shorter lifespans, and how they're trained to perform tricks, I hope that you see animal captivity in a little bit of a different light, and I hope that you encourage others to do the same. Thank you.